Hi, welcome back. It is Saturday, March 21st, and we're still on the quarantine, so I thought I'd read another story. First, I wanted to remind everybody that's in my class this year to get on Extra Math, and you need my email right there, mtennis@paris.k12.ca.us, and you'll need your PIN to get on Extra Math and to get on the Google Classroom. There's the classroom code, and you'll need your student number with the ending that we've always used to get in the Google Classroom. Also, I wanted to show everybody I did a puzzle today with my son. There's something fun to do if you're bored, is to do puzzles. Anyway, here is my story. You've already heard me read it probably if you've ever been in my class, but it's one of my favorite stories in the world. It's called the Sneeches. And there's some other stories in here, but I'm just going to read the Sneeches today. It's about being nice to people, no matter if they're the same or different. The Sneeches. Now the star-bellied Sneeches had bellies with stars. The plain-bellied Sneeches had none upon theirs. Those stars weren't so big, they were really so small, you might think such a thing wouldn't matter at all. But because they had stars, all the star-bellied Sneeches would brag, "We're the best kind of Sneech on the beaches." With their snoots in the air, they would sniff and they'd snort. "We'll have nothing to do with the plain-bellied sort." And whenever they met some, when they were out walking, they'd hike right on past without even talking. When the star-bellied children went out to play ball, could a plain belly get in the game? Not at all. You only could play if your bellies had stars, and the plain-bellied children had none upon theirs. When the star-bellied Sneeches had frankfurter roasts or picnics or parties or marshmallow toasts, they never invited the plain-bellied Sneeches. They left them out cold in the dark on the beaches. They kept them away, never let them come near, and that's how they treated them year after year. Then one day it seems, while the plain-bellied Sneeches were moping and doping alone on the beaches, just sitting there wishing their bellies had stars, a stranger zipped up in the strangest of cars. "My friends," he announced in a voice clear and keen, "my name is Sylvester McMonkey McBean, and I've heard of your troubles. I've heard you're unhappy, but I can fix that. I'm the fix-it-up chappie. I've come here to help you. I have what you need, and my prices are low, and I work at great speed, and my work is 100% guaranteed." Then quickly Sylvester McMonkey McBean put together a very peculiar machine, and he said, "You want stars like a star-bellied Sneech? My friends, you can have them for $3 each. Just pay me your money and hop right aboard." So they clambered inside, and the big machine roared, and it clonked, and it bonked, and it jerked, and it burked, and it bopped them about. But the thing really worked. When the plain-bellied Sneeches popped out, they had stars. They actually did. They had stars upon theirs. Then they yelled at the ones who had stars at the start, "We're exactly like you. You can't tell us apart. We're all just the same now, you snooty old smarties. And now we get to go to the frankfurter parties." "Good grief," groaned the ones who had stars at the first. "We're still the best Sneeches, and they're still the worst. But now how in the world will we know," they all frowned, "if which kind is what, or the other way round?" Then up came McBean with a very sly wink, and he said, "Things are not quite as bad as you think. So you don't know who's who, that's perfectly true, but come with me, friends, and you know what I'll do? I'll make you again the best Sneeches on beaches, and all it will cost you is $10 each." "Belly stars? They're no longer in style," said McBean. "What you need is a trip through my star-off machine. This wondrous contraption will take off your stars so you won't look like Sneeches who have them on theirs." And that handy machine worked very precisely, and it removed all the stars from their tummies quite nicely. Then, with their snoots in the air, they paraded about, and they opened their beaks, and they let out a shout, "We know who's who. Now there isn't a doubt, the best kind of Sneeches are the Sneeches without." Then, of course, those with stars all got frightfully mad. To be wearing a star was now frightfully bad. Then, of course, old Sylvester McMonkey McBean invited them into his star-off machine. And then, of course, from then on, as you probably guessed, things really got into a horrible mess. All the rest of the day, on those wild screaming beaches, the fix-it-up chappie kept fixing up Sneeches. Off again, on again, in again, out again, through the machines. They raced round and around again, through the machines, changing their stars every minute or two. They kept paying money, and they kept running through, until neither the plane or the star-bellied knew whether this one was that one, or that one was this one, or which one was what one, or what one was who. Then, when every last cent of their money was spent, the fix-it-up chappie packed up and he went. And he laughed as he drove in his car up the beach. They never will learn. Oh no, you can't teach a Sneech. But McBean was quite wrong, I'm happy to say, that the Sneeches got really quite smart on that day. That day they decided that Sneeches are Sneeches and no kind of Sneech is the best on the beaches. That day, all the Sneeches forgot about stars and whether they had one or not upon theirs. And as you can see, now they're going to be friends, and they decided not to be superficial, and instead they're friends based on the fact that really in the end we're all the same on the inside, and it doesn't matter if we look a little different on the outside. So thanks for listening to my story. I'll read another one again tomorrow. Good night.